Today's topic is ethics of care and how it pertains to the right wing discussing and permeating trans issues. In my paper, I argued that the right wing often uses feminist ethics and ideas, concepts, to argue their points. And in one example, the Save Women's Sports Act, the legislation itself is rather dry, so I don't recommend talking about that extensively, but how people discuss around it is important in this is important for this topic. So a state representative, Gina Powell of Ohio, said this about the bill. The Save Women's Sports Act is a fairness issue for women. This bill ensures that every little girl who works hard to make it on the podium is not robbed of her chance by a biological male competing against her in a biological female sport. We want every little girl to achieve her athletic dream here in the state of Ohio. So what I said about this was that it was using an emotional argument that sports were being infiltrated by biological males, like she said, and that it was our job, the reader, the listener's job, to protect the generation of little girls from the infiltrating men. She was the representative was clearly using emotion to provoke ideas from the listener to protect women from biological men supposedly dominating their sports. I rebuked that with that trans people aren't swarming women's sports in numbers like they infer, and that in how Powell was phrasing this, that little girls needed protection. So like they were talking about elementary school or middle school girls needed protection or care from these biological men. But trans youth of that age wouldn't have hormones to make them even remotely dominant to cisgender women in sports. And especially if they get their puberty blockers. If children of this age, and especially into high school, get the puberty blockers that they need, to prevent their first puberty from occurring, especially when it comes to trans women. And that leads into this next one, which is to save adolescents from experimentation, which because this bill actually got passed and is going to take away access for children of this age, under 18, to get puberty blockers. So they're essentially forcing children to go through their first puberty, which I believe is unethical. But they're using some pseudo-feminist logic, like they say here, that children need to grow up first, that they can make this decision when they're older. They're using logic that they're somehow not capable of making this decision when they're young, and we need to protect them from making a terrible mistake that they could make, when in reality this bill will prevent a preventable puberty from puberty blockers are proven to prevent unwanted puberty from occurring, and have no documented harm for children, as they are used on cisgender children as well for other conditions. So saying all that, both of these examples of conservatives using pseudo-feminist language, of trying to provoke care, trying to provoke a sense of care, of protecting. You have to protect and care for your children from these, from either decisions that they might regret or something, and from biological males infiltrating sports. Either way, they're misguided, and they're misguided uses of feminist language, and shouldn't be taken seriously. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.